Welcome to another edition of the Will Be Blood Fight Show. I'm your host, Dave Duenas. Who I got on the line right now is Juan the Baby Bull Diaz. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good, man, and thank you for having me on the show.
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time to be on the show. You know, we ran into each other at the hotel a night before the fight. How's preparation going for you, man, in training?
Well, right now, I'm in real intense training for my upcoming fight on the 28th against Juan Marquez, and everything's going according to plan. I've been sparring, been doing a lot of hand pad work, and just concentrating on the moves that I'm gonna need to make in order to be victorious on the 28th.
You know, Juan, taking on this fight, do you consider this being the biggest fight in your life at the moment?
I would have to say, as far as recognition and status, as far as being the biggest prize fight of my career, yes, I would have to say it is the biggest prize fight of my career because Juan Marquez is a great fighter. You know, it's gonna be my biggest payday, and he's well recognized all over the world.
You know, in your last fight, you face Michael Casitas, a pressure guy, and really a lot of media, sport fans, and even your followers thought you're just gonna go straight head to head with them, but you changed up your game a little bit. I think you really confused them. And going in to face Marquez, is there anything that you feel that you need to change in order to guarantee a victory?
Well, it all depends on how he comes out and fights me because we all know that he's a great boxer and he hasn't changed that throughout his whole career since the beginning of his career to now. He hasn't changed that. So what I'm gonna need to do is be smart out there as well. You know, like I did in the Michael Casitas fight, I was smart. I changed up my game plan. Now, according to what Marquez does, and I'm always training to have 2 or 3 game plans, and I have to concentrate on what's gonna work for me that night. So it all depends on Marquez. If he comes out boxing, then I'll fight him one way. If he comes out pressuring, then I'll fight him another way. And it's just all up to Marquez, and that's how I'm gonna fight my fight.
Marquez is actually considered one of the more intelligent fighters as a date right at this moment. In lines of a Mayweather, a dangerous guy. A phenomenal counterpuncher. When you saw him fight Casa Mayor, did you know at that moment, you know what, I want to fight this guy? Or was this fight brought to you, brought to your attention?
Well, after that fight, after the Casa Mayor fight, I definitely wanted to fight him. My first choice after my victory against Michael Casitas was, of course, Nate Campbell because I wanted to revenge my loss, but that didn't happen. He chose to fight another guy, which he'll be fighting on February 14th. So the next option for me was who out there is the best lightweight in the world. Well, I didn't have to look that far. Juan Marquez was right there. He was looking for a fight with Manny Pacquiao, didn't get it, so who else could he fight? But, one of the best guys in the lightweight division, which is me.
Right, you mentioned Nate Campbell, and you've said it was an off night for you. Challenging Marquez, who is the Lanier champion, but a lot of fight fans see more as Nate Campbell as being the champion because he defeated you. And a lot of fight fans are saying, hey, he's like the Joshua Kaladi of the lightweight division. Nobody wants to fight him. How much though in your heart, if let's say the Marquez fight it's already offered to you, but in what direction would you direct yourself in going if they said, hey, you know what, if you don't take Marquez, we'll give you Campbell? Which one would you take at this moment right now?
At this moment, I already we already signed the fight to fight with Marquez, and obviously, for business purposes, business-wise, boxing is a sport as well. So
right.
I'm thinking as a businessman point of view, and that would be that a more profitable and more marketable fight would be me against Marquez, and
right.
Putting my pride aside, if I would just think about my pride, then I would definitely say Campbell. But putting that aside and being a smart businessman, then any smart businessman could tell you that the fight with Marquez is a much better fight,
Absolutely.
business-wise.
Campbell, even though, among hardcore fans, he's known. Marquez, obviously, yeah, business-wise, he is the marquee name to go after. I don't think Nate Campbell is the most dangerous fight for you. I think Marquez is. So defeating Marquez, in a lot of ways, to hardcore fans, is like they're erasing the loss with Nate Campbell. Would you have to say that?
Well, to a lot of fans, it does, but to a lot of fans, it won't.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of fans that I'm not gonna please when I do beat Marquez, because they're gonna say that, I still have to beat Nate Campbell to be considered the best lightweight. Now to other fans, then they're gonna consider my victory against Marquez that, he's the best again, he's on top. So it's all about taking it a step at a time, and right now my main concern and my main focus is Juan Marquez.
Right. Juan, mentioning the name Nate Campbell, I could hear the teeth grinding. And it's obvious that name has really gotten underneath your skin. So I guess we could really say this guy's still in your dreams, right?
Absolutely. I dream about getting my revenge, avenging my loss. But then again, a mad fighter never wins a fight. A smart fighter is who wins a fight. So I'm gonna take my time, and eventually, it will come to a point where I will avenge my loss, and that will be that.
Absolutely. The fight's gonna be in your hometown, right? You're gonna have to say the home crowd, even though Marquez is a Mexican fighter of the DF in Mexico, a beloved fighter. But it's not in the same. Not yet. In my opinion, not yet in the same stature of Barrera Morales. So it's going to be a pro Diaz crowd. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with you 100% because the Houston fans have shown grace to their fighters, and even though he is going to have a lot of Mexican nationals come up and support him, but I think that the city of Houston and the state of Texas has seen me grow throughout the years. That I'm one of them now, and now that we all live here in the United States, and here in Texas we become one. So I think that definitely the crowd is going to be for me.
Like I said, one of the more craftier fighters, Marquez, a dangerous fighter, moving up in 135. That's your tread of water. Obviously, this is a new shark trying to swim into your ocean. He looked strong though and big, but he's beatable. But he's also been in a pretty good 2 fights with a guy that you've been kind of hounding down for some time now. And the guy that we're talking about is the Filipino that's been taking out all the Mexicanos. Is that a guy still that you're looking at? Like eventually you're hoping that match is gonna materialize.
Like every fighter, at one point the main guy to fight was Oscar De La Hoya. Now it's Manny Pacquiao. So it all comes in time. If that fight ever comes up, that I'm in a situation where I can take that fight, I'll take it. And if not, I won't worry about it, because there's so many people gunning at Manny Pacquiao and wanting that Manny Pacquiao fight that it's impossible for me to even think of a fight with him now. Now, what I can do is keep fighting, keep winning these fights, and eventually the best have to fight the best. So in the near future or further away, if that fight ever materializes, then I'll definitely jump and go for it.
Manny's got a fight coming up May 3rd, I believe, with Ricky Hatton. If you right now, you know what? There's been so many ups and downs in the boxing world, meaning that predictions have been wrong. Upsets, you can, obviously say. We just had one Saturday night with Margarito versus Mosley.
Right.
Seeing it, hoping that Manny Pacquiao successful against Ricky Hatton. That's a tough task ahead of him. And hoping that you're successful with Marquez. But let's say you blow out Marquez in such a fashion, bro, that it's just unbearable. You cannot avoid the baby bull. Would you move up? I mean, that would be a major, major fight because of the fact that you defeated, and not just defeat. Let's say you demolish the guy that's been giving Manny Pacquiao so much problems. I would say that would be the biggest event for 2010.
Oh, I think so. I think that could be a big possibility. I see it. I see what you're saying, and yes, definitely. I think that the fans would demand it, and the boxing public would demand it, and I would the one that would win out of this. I think it would be me because I would go in that fight with nothing to lose. And he would be the one with everything to lose, all his superstardom and everything he's accomplished throughout these last couple of years.